On that name.
Oh, ain't nobody but me, boss. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bag TV. Man, get your goofy ass in here and hit the bag. All right, man. I don't want to scare my David Benavidez fans. I'm a huge David Benavidez fan. Shout out my son for the Chuck E. Cheese cup, letting your boy hold a Chuck E. Cheese cup. I don't want to scare my David Benavidez fans, but listen, I'm just saying, I'm a little bit concerned, right? Now, we know El Bandera Roja. We know the Mexican monster. He brings the action. He has that come forward style. And listen, whether you want to believe it or not, I think for the majority or for the most part, he is extremely defensively responsible. We did see him take some shots that you don't usually see him take versus a David Morrell, who in my opinion filled out a little bit better than he did at 75. But I'm just not convinced that David Benavidez has the physique and his strength to really, be a serious threat at 75 versus some of these guys who've been there, like a career-long light heavyweight and an Anthony Yarde. Now, does he have the skills to pay the bills? Yes. Am I picking him to beat Anthony Yarde? Yes. I'm just more worried about the hurt bombs, the power, right? His power to me just hasn't transitioned pretty much at all at 75. When you think about guys who, like a Vosdick, who was off an extremely long layoff, got touched up and got him out of there by a better BF. I thought that was a fight that Benavidez should have won by KO. When you think about a David Morrell who was coming up to 75 for the first time, again, filled out in my opinion. And when I say filled out, I mean definition, muscle mass, just the size, but also carrying muscle, which relates to power for me at 75. I thought David Morrell just looked better, right? And listen, muscles don't make you the better boxer, but I think in the upper weight classes, it helps absorb a lot of shots, and I think it helps, of course, with the power. And you're not getting that from David Benavidez. I'm gonna continuously say this for David Benavidez. I know y'all sick of me saying it. I'd rather be a big 68 guy than a smaller 75 guy. And when you look at David Benavidez compared to these guys, he's a runt, bro. I'm sorry, right? Just because y'all labeled him the fat guy because he was, and he had a poor eating habits or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean he's just a naturally bigger guy because he was once upon a time fat. Right? With the right diet, with the right discipline, he's a smaller man, right? There's a lot of small guys trapped in fat guys' bodies. That isn't where they supposed to be. And with that said, I just don't think he's filling out correctly at 75. And the thoughts of him going up to cruiserweight and even heavyweight is scary for me because yeah, the hand speed can get you but so far, but you really need something that these guys can respect. And if you saw the Vosdick fight, if you saw the David Morrell fight, a lot of those shots, I just don't believe they respected. He hit Vosdick with everything in the kitchen, and the guy never looked up or appeared to be hurt at all. He hit David Morrell with some shit that probably would have got him out of there at 68. And now you're going against, again, a career-long 75 guy built like a tank in Anthony Yarde. This guy's 27-3 with 24 knockouts. He has real light heavyweight power, and there's always a puncher's chance, especially given the type of offense and the type of style that David Benavidez has. He'll always be in range to catch one of those hurt bombs if Anthony Yarde gets lucky, right? So 27 wins with 24 knockouts tells me everything that I need to know. He's punching. And with the 3 losses, you think he got stopped or knocked out by Kovalev. He got knocked out by better BF. These are even bigger punchers, in my opinion, than an Anthony Yarde. So this is a dangerous matchup. I'm just saying, this is a dangerous matchup where he's definitely going to have to continuously be defensively responsible. And I'm just not sure that Mexican monster style that we've all come to love. I don't know, if that's going to be plausible. I don't know if you can have that particular style versus some of these, again, career long light heavyweight, these bigger guys, these guys that are built like tanks, and they only need one shot to get you out of there. David Benavidez does not have one punch power knockout. He didn't really have it at 68, or let's just say he didn't have it at 68, and he for damn sure ain't got it at 75. But these guys that he's going to be challenging, the better BFs, the Anthony Yards, these guys do. So all I'm saying is, don't be surprised if we catch David Benavidez on his back facing more adversity than you've ever seen the monster in. Can he beat him down? Sure. I'm taking David Benavidez in this fight, especially in those later rounds, if he survives that long, where Anthony Yarde tends to run out of gas and then he can just go ahead and pour on that onslaught. I'm not so sure he stops him either. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with the better competition at 75 for David Benavidez, if you don't see any stoppages, right? I'm not picking him to stop Anthony Yarde, better BF, Bivol, none of these guys. I believe all of these fights go 12. And I'll say the same thing for cruiserweight and heavyweight if he decides to be crazy enough to go up there. I'm telling you guys, he's a smaller man that had a bad eating habit. He blew up, and he's just naturally not that big a guy. And that's why it's not translating to power. And that's why these guys look massive as far as muscle definition and everything else when it comes to their physiques versus David Benavidez. All right. That's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Big T.O. Heavy Bag. I am out of here. Talk to him, son.
Thank you for watching my dad on Heavy Bag TV.